of Supreme Crystal Edge technology screens using the ambient light rejection technology gain. I am also to the creator of the Supreme technology and also to our AR-17. Now I do apologize. I had to go in and actually remove the comments, and I like having the comments because I meet some very interesting people. But as I said before, we've had some problems with a particular individual, and we have made agreements, tried to make agreements with this individual to mind his own business. If he minds his own business, that we won't pursue some problems that we've had with a certain form of copyright being tampered with. All right, we're giving him a chance here. So I'm going to give him this message once again. Please get it under control, my friend, because like I said, the last thing I want to do is go down and get this taken care of because it's not going to be pretty, okay? So again, mind your business. All right, so let's move on from there. So we're back again. This time I did a projector swap out. So the other projector's not there, still 720p's, but this one's actually a lower 720p than the other one. The other one was a WUXGA. This one now is an 800 by 600 SVGA. Now we're doing this basically to show that our technology is far more superior than anything out there on the market, and the reason why is because we can make 720p projectors look incredible. Now, like I said, a lot of people out there do not have the money or don't want to spend the money for an expensive projector, and they don't. I have customers who I contact and talk to every day, and the last thing they want to do is have to drop down another $3,000 or maybe $2,000 or even $1,500 or even $800. They don't want to spend the money. Now, if you have that kind of money to spend, then hats off to you. But, you know, people want to set up that where they can have a nice, beautiful screen. They can use it in a fully lit environment. They can use it with their ultra short throws. They don't want to be boggled down with an expensive projector or an expensive setup. So as you know, in demonstrations that I display on my channel, I display my screens actually versus certified projection screens that can easily cost my customers anywhere in the price range of $4,000, $5,000, even $1,400 for a projection screen. But also, too, one of the enhancements that our technology has is it has the ability to make a 720p projector look incredible. And I mean, the projector I'm using right now, the 720p I'm using right now, is a 600 by 800 res SVGA right next to a Christie that is a 1920 by 1200. One is actually 3600 lumens, the other one is 4300 lumens. Let me get my group moved out of the way. There we go. Now, as I said before, for anyone who wants to run their mouth about my company or what we do or whatever, if you feel the need that you are equal to us or you can merit on the same level, we have a challenge called the Sun Killer. It's on my channel. I will post it below. If you feel that you can do the same thing we can do, then all you have to do is just repeat the exact same video. Show a demonstration of your screen taking a direct hit from sunlight and producing an image. If not, we don't care who you are. And this is big companies too. I've had a few companies actually email me about this, that, and the other. Don't care. If you feel that you're equal to us, take a direct hit from sunlight. That's all you have to do. And show an image. So one projector cost me, let's see, I paid $150 for one, and the other one I paid $230 for. So which one is 1080p, and which one? Okay, so we go with SVGA. Which one's SVGA? Is that SVGA or is that SVGA? So it's SVGA 600 by 800 res. Well, since you can't speak, I'll show you. That's 720p. This is 600 by 800 res. SVGA. Viewsonic versus a 1080p Christie at 1920 by 1200, 4300 lumens, a WUXGA projector. Top tier versus a projector that is only 600 by 800 res at SVGA, 720p. And there is proof that our technology can advance a 720p projector to look just as good as a 1080p projector, even at 600 by 800 res. See, the reason why most people consider 720p projectors to be garbage is because your screen does not have the capability to be able to produce a proper image. Doesn't produce proper color, contrast, doesn't even do well on a fully lit environment. Look at my environment, look how much light we have in here. So there's no way in the world your screen could take on that much light. So the first thing you do is when you basically hit your, take your projector and hit your screen, you start calibrating, because now your colors are washed out, faded, can't pull your contrast levels. Maybe your contrast levels are too low. So now you go and you buy a projector with a 10,000 to 1, a 20,000 to 1, thinking you're going to see an improvement in contrast. You're not going to see it. You can calibrate your colors all day long. Your screen's still going to come out at 50%, maybe 30% if you're lucky, maybe 30% at the most. But my customers can go out and spend $150 for a projector, which I paid for this one, and get an image that looks like that. See the angle gain that my technology pulls up? This is what you want from your screen. You want options. You want the option to be able to use your screen in a fully lit environment. You do not want to be sitting in the dark. If you're sitting in the dark, the reason why you're sitting in the dark is because you're afraid if you turn any lights on in the environment, your screen's going to wash out on you. That's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of any kind of window light that comes in. That's going to disrupt your picture. So what do? You go out and you get more lumens, you buy a more expensive projector, thinking that's going to fix the problem. Fixes it by a little bit. That's it. Maybe the next step, you have to go out and buy more expensive screens. So you know what screens are going to cost you? The darker the screen, the more expensive. So you go with a Cinema Gray 5D. You drop maybe $1,300, $1,400 for a 100-inch. But what if you want to go with a 120-inch? Well, it's going to cost you more money now. Maybe that screen's not doing it. Maybe you need something a little bit more darker. So then you got to go get a Darkstar 9. Now you're talking about $3,000 for a 100-inch. 100-inch, not a 120-inch. Every time you want to go bigger, it's going to cost you more money. If it costs you $3,000 for a 100-inch, what do you think a 150-inch is going to cost you? All right, so now the price starts going up. But now you got to buy more advanced projectors. So now you're talking about another, what, $1,500? Anything you add to $3,000 is going to be a lot more. Anything you add to it. So now you're going to need a more powerful projector. So you're going to advise you, go get a 4K projector. This is what you're going to need. So now you're going to have to cough up another $2,000. You're like $5,000. Or if you got a projector that's a screen that's around $5,000, you're $7,000 in the hole already. Where I can just come in and pay the money for a $139 for projector right here. Hit my black technology with 1 quart now because the sale is over. Would cost you $148. Have an image of 100-inch to 120-inch, or I could take it outside and take my screen outside. You're not taking a $3,000 projection screen outside. It's not going to happen. You wouldn't dare take it out there. So the only screens they have for outside would be white screens, and you know what's going to happen with that one. And then it may be or may not be ultra short throw compatible. So now you got to spend even more money for a screen that's going to be ultra short throw compatible, because they're not going to give you that for the same price of a screen that was $3,000. They're going to charge you more for that one. So what other options you have? All right, then you have the options to deal with people that are not doing screen paints correctly. You should be watching demonstrations in fully lit environments without the screen washing out or fading. If you're watching a demonstration, the majority of that demonstration is done in the dark, then that's where you're going to be at, in the dark. See how I can move around my environment? Both projectors will pull up. No matter where I turn, I should be able to see that screen. Now, as I said before, for those of you who feel the need to say, hey, I do the same thing he does, well, we got 3 challenges floating around. None of them have ever been matched. We have the ultimate 1100 challenge, never met. We have a 50 lumen challenge outside at 8 feet back, never met. And then we have the ultimate challenge, which we challenge everybody, and I mean all companies, everybody, which is that sun killer demonstration against the game we're developing to take a direct hit from sunlight and produce an image. And if you can't do it, then you have no right to say you're on our level. Because I can come out here and say, well, to my customers, hey, look, I can make a 720p look like close to a 1080p. And for those you say I can't, there you go. Now, mind you, that projector I was using right there was a WUXGA. That's a WUXGA right there. This projector is 600 by 800 res SVGA. Next to a projector that is 1920 by 1200 WUXGA. There you go. And remember when people were saying that black technology is so dark you can't even see it? Well, they kind of forgot that part too. Screen's black. Isn't that interesting? See, we had this technology. This is nothing new. We've had this a long, long time ago. I figured out this when I bought a 4K projector. I bought a Viewsonic PX747 4K projector. That's what I bought. And that's when I was doing a little studying on basically on how physical light is affected by color. So like I said, you have to go outside the projector, you have to go outside the theater, you have to go into the science part of it all. And that's when I started understanding how physical light is how it's affected, the environment, how it affects it, how the projector reacts to the screen. And that's when we developed a product, and keep in mind, like I said, all our formulas have bits and pieces of our old technology embedded in it. We developed a product that gave projector the ability to be able to produce a beautiful image without it being a high-end projector, which means you can go to the 720p versus 4K. Now, for those of you trying to say, oh, but that's not possible. Well, like I said, you know me, I back everything up. So, at the bottom of this video, I will leave some links. In those links, you will see several demonstrations of a PX747 4K projector at 3500 lumens versus a 720p Viewsonic and Mitsubishi projector, both of them producing simultaneously images, and basically kind of hard to tell which one's which. But I'll post them at the bottom. That's why my customers don't have to go out and spend all this money for these expensive projectors, because I can point them over to eBay and they can get one of these cheap projectors and be able to produce a beautiful image in a fully lit environment, mind you, and without the screen washing out or fading. Now, like I said, I'm sorry I had to remove the comments, but like I said, my channel is set up. I got it set up for 18 only, for adults only. I expect when people come into my channel to carry themselves with a little bit more respect. But, you know, I have these problems from time to time. We have certain individuals, we know where they come from, and they feel the need to come here and act up and carry on. This is going to be a new year coming in. You're grown men and grown women. This is how you're carrying yourself through life. Like, really? You got to really think about that. This is how you're end up early in the morning to go on a grown man's channel who's talking about screen paint to act like an adolescent? Come on, grow up a little, please. Just grow up a little bit. It's not a, you're not gonna go up a lot. You're gonna do life-changing, I'm not asking you life-changing, but just a little bit, all right? All right. Well, with that being said, and I enjoy doing this demonstration because, like I said, I've had this conversation with people before about how technology has the ability to make 720p projectors look incredible, and people want to sit there and say, well, 720p projectors are outdated, nobody wants them. At the end of the day, it's about saving money. That's what it comes down to, saving money. And if you got the money to blow, that's you. I know people who have money to blow and they don't want to spend the money, all right? If a company can save money and go out, let's put it this way, if a company's going to spend for a projector, say they have a setup, each projector is going to cost them about $3,000 each. And if they can save money and get a projector that's going to cost them $200 each, or maybe I say $300 each, they're going to basically sign that contract with me. You know why? Because I'm going to save them money. Nobody wants to go out and just spend tons of money just for the sake of it. Everybody's trying to save. And if you can get a beautiful image for not spending a lot of money on a projector, and I'll keep in mind the technology, use it in a fully lit environment without your screen washing out or fading, then guess what? That's why they come to me. I like the fact that people sometimes they get overwhelmed by trying to figure out or look at the images that they miss the big picture. Also, there's several large pictures. It's producing off a black screen, and it's doing it in a fully lit environment, and it's making a 720p look very close to a 1080p. All right, with that being said, thank you all for your time. This for you want to know the projectors. This is a Viewsonic PJD, sorry, 5155 right there. A lot of people seen this projector and they pass over. They go, I don't want this projector. It's 600 by 800 res. It's 720p. I don't want this. That's what you would get from that projector if you had our technology. And that projector would have cost you 140 bucks. That's it. Oh, by the way, these projectors do 235.1. That one doesn't. This one right here is my Christie projector. Right there, LWU 420. This projector right here, I got it for around 230 bucks. Now they're like $1,000 now because the person who sold them, he sold completely out. He has no more left. And everybody else who has them, they want $1,000 to $1,500 for these projectors. This is 4,300 lumens. This is 1920 by 1200, a WUXGA projector, top tier projector versus 720p SVGA. So at the end of the day, no, you don't have to spend a lot of money for a projector. You know, you got our technology, you can have a beautiful image without basically breaking the bank. And nobody, like I said, in this decade and age where things are going financially for a lot of people, man, people still want to have something nice, but they don't want to spend a lot of money, and I can understand that 100%. All right, thank you for your time. I have to go, and God bless.